Our final email. It's a doozy. It comes to us from Eugene from Franklin, New Hampshire. Howdy, guys. Several episodes back when you guys were talking about dumb Gamergate 2 situation, you had all talked about the horror deal with Smash JT's website being taken down by Nick Calandra of Second Wind. I'm not sure if you guys are still following what's been happening, but I wanted to write in and point out that you were exactly correct. It's come out recently after one of the biggest parts of Second Wind, Frost, is leaving and supposedly posting a large video about why he's leaving, cited that Nick is the single reason he's leaving the company. He's also made it known that the other leaders and members of the company had an intervention and sat Nick down and warned him about his social media usage and how it is starting to damage the company. Going to be very interesting to see, but it really seems like he may actually be let go from Second Wind. So yeah, I will point out, and I do know of this because I didn't know who this Frost guy was. I've never watched any of Second Wind's content. I don't know anything.
Avoid it, but
I don't know if it's good or bad. And there's also a dude that works there named Yahtzee, and apparently he's a very popular YouTuber that got roped into this company. But like, I never watched a video of that guy too. But the funny thing about this is, and that I believe that's what I had said too, is like, if I feel like at some point they had to have sat this guy down, like, you need to fucking stop, or this company is going to go under, and that. We're now vindicated with knowing that's exactly what happened. Right. So this Frost dude, from what I looked into, he was like the third level. So what's funny is with their Patreon, they let all their numbers. They actually have all their numbers of what they earn public. So, for example, the Yahtzee guy makes, I believe it's $12,500 a month. Nick Calandra makes $8,000 a month, which seems wild because this guy does
too much.
And then the guy under him is Frost, who makes literally half of that. Okay, to put that in perspective. But that guy was apparently doing a lot of the job. He just all of a sudden one day I opened up Twitter, which I hate opening. It's more like Twitter is like just a doom scrolling app now. That's what it's been reduced to. But I have to open it to post stuff about the podcast and about the YouTube channel. So, but I happened to see this post from this guy, and like I didn't know who he was, but I read his little thing because it says it's Second Wind. I'm like, isn't the place where that one dude works? So I read through it, and like, yeah, he literally cites Nick Calandra as the single reason why he's leaving. He actually posted a very short like snippet of whatever video he's putting out where they had some sort of argument about like not being able to get someone relegated to be HR of this fucking company that they've started, which seems wild that it's been going on for 6 months and they don't have an HR person. It's just, all of it is wild and seems not shocking. And the other thing I'll say too is like, that dude did for a while, this Nick Calandra guy, and I don't personally know the guy. I'll never speak to this man, but like, the stuff that he's done is pretty damning to some of these other things, like getting that guy's website taken down. I understand why he pushed for it, but still was
get it. But it's not your place.
He went around in the wrong way. Yeah. He was off social media for like 2 weeks and he came back. He made a huge fucking mistake when he came back, and that was he went on one of these podcasts and decided to have an argument. And I'll tell you exactly the podcast he went on because you know a little bit about this. He went on the Side Scrollers podcast, and the reason he went on it is because the guy that runs that, Stuttering Craig, started that campaign about Take Games Back, and he's like, that's not going to work. And so he told them, like, come on, we'll talk about it. And they went through everything. Not just about Take Games Back. They asked him the hard question about what happened with all the Gamergate stuff, getting that guy's website taken down. I don't know if you know this, but at some point that 8-Bit Eric guy was roped into this. God, where so that dude, I don't know if you've watched any content that guy's made in a while, because like he hasn't shown up in any game chasers videos in a while.
Yeah,
he's just a reactionary YouTuber now.
Sure.
So he kind of went off on this Nick Calandra guy, and that guy went after him to the point that he and some other guy that's roped into this actually contacted his work, and they pulled a snippet out of one of his live streams, because he's like streaming Fortnite or something, about where he was talking about like today's current dating scene is kind of fucked up, you know, and that dude's a 40-year-old dude. And he's talking about how you know, went to the bar and was trying to pick up younger girls, as in, you know, 21 and up.
Okay.
But they took that as, you know, where they went with it. And they sent that snippet and emailed it to his work.
Oh my God.
Look at what this dude's doing and what he's saying, and took it all out of context. Obviously, this dude's work didn't believe that, but he called it out. And he called this other guy out. The other guy's name, I believe, you can look it up on Twitter. His Twitter doesn't exist anymore. He got so battered by it, he deleted his Twitter. If you go to his handle, it literally just says bye. No tweets are there.
Wow.
Guy's name, I believe, is John Feeps, I think. This guy, real piece of garbage. But anyways, the whole thing about that is he went and called that guy out publicly in a YouTube video that had a picture of him in like the thumbnail, and that guy went nuts on Twitter and was like, I'm gonna get this lawyer to come after you. So he had a lawyer come after 8-Bit Eric, man. Like an internet lawyer. And so apparently 8-Bit Eric, his cousin or his brother or something is a real life lawyer. So they looked into this guy and realized this guy's not a real lawyer. And that all crumbled. Like all of this shit just crumbles. Like, nah, everything you're saying to me doesn't mean anything. And that all ended. And that resulted, like I said, in this guy that originally did this is just not on Twitter anymore. Bye. It's his Twitter handle. So that's a little sidebar part of this, but Nick Calandra was involved in that too, and he was asked about that, and he had no good answers. And then the entire time he's trying to say on the thing, like, oh, I'm just a moderate. Like, nah, dude, it seems like you're an extreme one way here. Like, but because of that appearance and because he started it up again, I think that's why his whole company's collapsing now. Because he couldn't keep his mouth shut, and the rest of those people don't want that. They just want to make their YouTube content.
It's weird that consequences have actions. Like, it's
like, what you said, like it matters.
People,
like you gotta
it's because we live in this world now where like people don't understand what freedom of speech means. Freedom of speech means you can say almost anything you want. We'll say, like, in theory it should be everything. You can say almost anything you want, and no one can tell you no. But it doesn't mean that it won't have lasting ramifications on your personal life or your career when you spout off nonsense.
And you should also be prepared to defend something that's wild.
Yes.
In my opinion. Like, you're gonna say, if you're gonna make a wild claim or like, you should be prepared to defend it.
Right.
Because people will come after it if they look and they go, this is weird.
If there's anything in it that doesn't make sense, they'll come after it.
Yeah.
But it's crazy how this just keeps going, man. It just
how is it still going?
I don't know. The engine keeps turning.
It started last November and then kicked off really in February. Also, the point, like, I hate calling it Gamergate too.
It's not what it is.
It's not. It's just the culture war.
It's not
edition.
Gamergate is very different from what this is.
Thing from what this is. I don't know where at some point someone was like, we need to call it Gamergate too.
No, that's a mistake. Gamergate was about much worse stuff than this.
A much worse situation.
Yeah, much worse stuff than this. This is all just people being assholes on the internet to each other and picking fights all the time and not backing it up.
A lot.
And it's just, and it's because the world we live in now is you pick fights, like piss people off.
I laugh when I read the email though, because I'm like, I had to think back and I'm like, no, that's exactly what I said. Is like, there has to be a situation in which they sat this dude down. Like, you need to stop, man. Like, this is absurd.
Yeah.
You're tanking this company. Like, just go look at his Twitter. Like, it's just like, what are you doing?
Right.
In comparison to go look at the company's Twitter where it's like, hey, we put up this new video today about this game. Maybe come check it out.
And these days, like, if your personal beliefs, no matter what part of the company you are in, start bringing fire back on the company and the founders, it's far easier to cut you than to do anything else. And we won't. We're not going to get into this because I don't want to spend an hour on it, but this is what's happening to Mr. Beast right now.
Oh yeah,
like you and I agree, and Matt, I'm sure you agree too. Nothing can take him down. It doesn't matter. The man could say, "I killed 100 people live on stream for $1,000," and it doesn't matter.
Surprised I haven't seen that as a meme.
That would honestly probably get more views. But the stuff with like other people who are part of his company might be pedophiles. Gee, that person was gone immediately because it's not worth anything else to bother to back them up and say, well, let's wait and see. We're not a wait and see place anymore now. It's all immediate reactions to stuff, and you got to cover your ass. His empire is gonna be under fire for a while, but it's not going anywhere.
No,
he's the number one YouTube channel.
Yeah, he's the number one. Yeah, and YouTube makes money, and YouTube is unregulated. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And
he could has that Amazon show has that happened or
it's
no?
coming.
It's coming. Yeah. Okay, because he can get, if he does some dumb shit in that, he can get in trouble for that. A lot harder
if it's online and it's not broadcast over the FCC thing, it doesn't matter. Streaming rules are wild. I watched the whole lawyer video thing about this.
Okay,
streaming rules are incredibly different, and there are almost no rules.
Was it the sick ass lawyer you sent me a video of with his sweet intro of like the rap song?
No, not that guy. That guy's cool as hell.
That dude, amazing.
I love that dude. You don't give a shit.
Oh man, what was his name? What's his name?
I'll have to look it up again. But that man does not fucking care. He's great.
No, he doesn't. He was firing a gun at one point in that intro. Like,
yeah,
he sells
fantastic. Merch that says stuff that like "Don't snitch on yourself" or something like that.
Damn,
that was
because he's a criminal defense lawyer. I'm pretty sure. And he's just like,
yeah,
I'm sure he's had.
You should find that. Send that to Matt. Later. That'll blow. That
guy is amazing.
His intro insane.
I thought it was funny, and then that intro played, and I went, "Hold up!" I paused it. It was like, I gotta send this to Kyle like now.
God damn it. Now you mentioned Mr. Beast. We're going to get like 3 emails about that next week.
Well, we can talk about it in depth next week.
Maybe, we can talk about it in depth. Maybe more stuff will come out. Somebody emails in.
I organize public executions. That'll be the next one.
Yeah. Insane.